Greetings everyone, today we have the compact combined mask, also known as the PMK-1.
From out the British lines there came the famous tank brigade.
Having a close look at the bag, it is quite a nice designed bag. It has two Velcro hooks, or two Velcro pads here, which then connect to the upper part of the bag, and then this little metal button to hold it together a bit more secure. A handle system here, which uses quite a couple different buckles, so you can attach it to more gear, such as backpacks or belts. And you have this part, which I suppose is to loop them through to be a little better for storing. Then you have down here another little hook attachment part, which you can attach hooks in. Now for the contents of the bag, opening it is very simple. You just pull that down and then the two Velcro straps. Then you get into the bag. Inside the bag you have the PMK-1 itself, a filter, this being a MS4 filter, some spare lenses, this little module which I'm not sure what it is, and some spare anti-fogging lenses. The inside of the bag is split into two parts. You have this smaller compartment, I suppose to store the spare lens pieces, which I believe inside here has actually split off. Then you have these two smaller compartments, I'm not sure if you can see, two smaller compartments. There's a smaller compartment on the left, and then you have the main large compartment. Moving away from the bag itself, here we have the PMK-1. So, here you have the exhale valve, the intake valve, where the filter will be attached, being 40mm Ghost, such as most other filters from this time. And then this side, we have some markings, this being a size 2, which is a medium for the PMK masks. A 136 on this, I'm not too sure what the 136 is. May potentially be a production, well, it is a production number, potentially the batch number, and then here you have a T and then a number, which is 87, so this was manufactured in 1987. Here is the speech valve, so you can hear people speaking a bit easier. And this long hose looking module, which ends down here, is a drinking tube. I do not have the drinking tube module for this, however. It's also quite tricky to put the drinking tube back in. So looking at the top of the mask, this is not a hood most other Soviet masks from the time are. And taking a look to the back, you have a 5-type harness system with some more writing, T87, and then this Soviet character with 180, 160. So it's just made of rubber, nothing else. And then here, if you can see, there is a adjustment with 12 numbers, well, 12 numbers going from 1 to 12. This, I suppose, would be to change the size of it. And then if you see here, there is a mask former, I believe it's called, which is in here, which is just made of some plastic. It's to help keep the form of the mask. We'll pop it over there. I noticed those numbers on all the straps as well, and it uses a simple system to hold it together, using two larger pieces of rubber to allow adjustment without it coming apart very easily. I flipped the harness over the top of the mask so we can take a bit of an easier look inside. So here is the inner mask. It is quite large. And taking a look inside, which may be a bit difficult. Down there you have the exhale valve part. On the left you have on the left you have where the intakes would be, which appears to kind of be a bit of a rubber module on the left, as you can see there, where the intake will come from there. And you have the speech diaphragm there, and you have the eye pieces, which you can see through. Placing the master side, let's have a quick look at the filter. MS4 filters, I believe, are Czechoslovakian or Polish, and it's from an MS series. This is an MS4. Supposedly they don't contain asbestos. However, I still wouldn't breathe through it even if it didn't have asbestos because of the age of the filter. It has 172 and some more markings. I believe that's XII8851, then an E. Then here you have the 328G, I believe, 0798, and then these numbers here, KJL82. Seems to be a bit of paper that's been ripped off at the top as well. And on the bottom, you have this part, which you have to pull to actually get into the bottom filter for it to allow it to be used. You have some worn out writing there. I cannot tell what that says. And there's another KJL130, I believe. Then an 8, and I believe 5. It might be flipped. Then that's KJ again, and then something 5-3. Then here, not too sure what that says, both sides round. That's the filter. You operate it, you'd unscrew this part here, which would allow you to get access to the filter itself, which has this layer on the top. Taking a look at this tin next, opening it up reveals some eye lenses. This one has, I believe, one underneath there as well, but there's an eye lens. It would go inside the mask. I believe it's to help with fogging. I'm not too sure what that is. It's either HNH or a HUH. It's not on the other side, but that's eye lenses, I believe. This is still sealed, but it's spare eyepieces for the mask, so I wouldn't be getting out, but it's basically identical to what is already on the mask. And then we have this module, which I'm not sure what it is. It could potentially be something to go with the drinking valve, but it's this little greenish brown colour, which has a screw-like part on the bottom, and on the top it has a piece. I believe this is most likely to do with the drinking valve. So putting it on the head, your head, or on a mannequin, to adjust it, I'll show you with this part. I've done it with the rest. What you'd have to do is you'd have to grab this part of the harness, and you'd have to begin pulling it. Maybe a bit difficult to see. So what you'd have to do is you'd have to pull this part here. You'd have to pull it out. That would allow you to then pull, and it would tighten it. Once you tighten it to where you want, you just thread it back in. And then you've tightened it. So here we can see the mask with a mannequin head in. Is balancing using part of the base of the neck of the mannequin head and this part, although it would not do that in real life. Here we have the filter. With it screwed in, the mask does not want to stand properly. However, I can hold it up. That's how it would look with the mask with the filter on. So this mask was used by the Soviet Union until it was replaced by the PMK-2, and it is still partly used by the Russian Federation due to lack of PMK-3s and 4s and sometimes PMK-2s. So it's still used in service in some numbers. And it has a civilianized counterpart known as the GP7V, or the GP7. But I suppose that will be all for this video, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.